7-1, example 2. Tell whether the function shows growth or decay, then graph. So this is an exponential function. The way I know is because my variable is in my exponent. And if I want to write this in my standard form, it would be a of x equals 1 times 2 to the x, where my initial value is 1. So if I want to check if it's growth or decay, I look at my base. My base is 2, which is greater than 1. So this is considered growth. So now, in order to graph this function, I'm going to use my graphing calculator to get a table of points that I can plot. So I go to my y equals, and I'm going to type in 2 to the x. So 2 raised to the x power. So if I want to graph that, click graph. Now I have chosen a special feature here where my calculator is showing both my table and my graph. So the way I did that was I clicked mode, and you notice I highlighted graph and table. So that's a nice way for you to get both your graph and table in one view. So let's use that view. So graph, here's my graph and table. So I'm going to copy down this table and try to plot some of these points on my graph. So my table from my calculator, and if you, a good 5 points to choose always are -2, -1, 0, 1, 2. And for -2, it's 0.25, -1, it's 0.5, 0, it's 1, 1, it's 2, 2, it's 4. If you'd like to do more points than that, that's fine. So now to graph this, my x values from -2 to +2, my y values go up until 4. So -2, it's at 0.25, -1, it's about 0.5, 0, it's at 1. 1, it goes through 2, 2, it goes through 4. So here is my graph that's growing exponentially. So what we notice here, and no matter how far back we go into our negatives, let me click second table to jump over to my table. No matter how far back I go into my negatives, you see my y values never equal 0. They get very, 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 very small scientific notation numbers, but never equal 0. So that means that my x-axis is an asymptote that it'll never cross. Asymptote. Which means it's a y value that my function will never cross. So y equals 0 is my asymptote because my y values will never equal 0. They'll never cross that horizontal line. All right, let's try another one.